Benriach The 12. Is this 12-year-old Scotch a bottle you should buy the full thing, or is a sampler pack probably the best way to go? Stay tuned for the review. Welcome back to Exploring Whiskey. I'm Kevin, and today I'm going to start let's call it a new series. We used to do a lot of sample packs and go through those, and that was already hard with two people when you're only getting 50 milliliters of a whiskey. Now with three guys, it's just basically impossible. I've collected a whole bunch of sample packs, but I haven't been able to do them, so I'm going to do them on a little bit of a solo mission here. So you just got me. Today, we're going to continue the Benriach. This is the 12. So we already did I believe it's called the original 10, the 10-year version of this, but this is the 12-year. I got a sampler pack where it includes a 10, a 10 Smokey, a 12, and a 12 Smokey. Well, the good part is I can actually pour myself a pretty decent pour. When you're trying to sample, it gets really hard when it's a smaller pour. So obviously, 12-year-old whiskey. We've got 100% malted barley, so that's kind of the norm. It is finished in 3 different types of casks. So we've got sherry casks, ex-Bourbon casks, and ex-port casks. And the proof here is, I want to say it's 92 proof. Very solid for a Scotch, so I'll take that. And the whole idea that this was a relaunch, Benriach, and I may be saying that not quite exactly right, but forgive me. Benriach did a relaunch around 2020, and they kind of released these 4 as their base 4 whiskeys. This sampler pack, $24, and you get to try 4 different whiskeys. I love that. That's just great. $25, I guess, with change. But an individual bottle, you're talking 55, 60-ish bucks, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's hard to pull a trigger on something you don't know anything about. So let's go in. Okay, off the nose, I've got no complaints. I've got a pretty sweet nose, like a custard note almost, a little cakey. I think there's a fruit note. I'm going to go more of that citrus note, like a light lemon cake or maybe like an orange zest on a cake. No, nothing offensive at all. You can get just a touch of the proof coming through at that 92. So I'm a fan of that. Let's taste it. So first sip, proof comes through a little bit. It's not harsh, but you can definitely tell this is a higher proof Scotch. And then, I get like a mixed berries, very fruity. Not overly honeyed or malty, but the palate turns to a little bit more of a fruit thing going on. And the finish gets really sweet with a little bit of like a barrel tannin. Okay, going back to the nose, definitely get more of the fruit notes, very strong fruit notes. But this, again, going more towards berries, not quite a fruit cocktail, but more just like mixed berries. There's definitely like a blueberry and a blackberry and a raspberry kind of coming through. Very solid. Really enjoyable. Yeah, can't complain. No complaints about that nose. The palate's just a little, it's not as nice as the nose. There's definitely more barrel tannin note on the second pull. A little bit more, I want to say drying, but that's not really it. It's just kind of like, maybe it's not oily. Like it's just something's missing. It's not quite opening up. Now that could be the fact that it's a small pour. Maybe like in that little bottle and it would need time to breathe, but the palate is a little tight compared to what the nose shared. All right, so add a little water, see what happens. So I see a little oil dancing, so it's not the oil. It's definitely got a little oil dance, so I could see that as I put the water in there. I switched fruits. I got a little bit more of an apple note coming off of that now. Still pleasant. Honeyed apples, not a baking spice to it. Kind of makes me want a little baking spice to it, like a apple tart type note. But there is some honey, again, fruit, a little bit of a malty, bready note in there, but that's very light. palate is much better with water. So still getting pretty solid barrel notes. I mean, that 12 year is really giving off a lot of barrel notes, but the fruit notes come through much stronger, very sweet, still a little proof, still a little barrel twang to it. But the sweetness is much more apparent. The fruity notes are much more apparent. I'm going to say my preference would be with the water. I think the water opened it up just a little bit. I wonder if just time in the glass, or if you had a full bottle, that like having it open for a little while might have opened that up a touch more. The water really helped open this up. Wow, that just totally turned into Granny Smith apples. Wow, that's crazy. That's exactly what it smells like. Those Granny Smith, a little, like, they're sweet, but they're got that tartness that comes through with Granny Smiths. That's really good. That smells so much better. That water really helped that. That palate is so much better now with water. There's so many more like sweeter notes, subtle notes. The barrel tannin thing is still there, but it's not as aggressive as it was when it was neat. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed my review of the Benriach The 12. I would say it's for the $50 to $55. It's probably a pretty good purchase for a 12-year-old whiskey. Even better, if you see a sampler pack, I think grab it. I really think it's a solid lineup. I remember the tin also being pretty good, and I believe it's like $10 to $15 cheaper, so that probably is the better value. But if you like a little bit more age statement, a little bit more barrel impact, this might be your way to go. I will say thank you for watching, and I will link here for the whole series of the Benriach sampler pack. See you on the next episode. Cheers.